Hello again. This is Evelyn from Grandma's Garden. I know it's January, I know we have tons of snow, but actually this is the time when we get our seed catalogs. And I don't know about you, but I start dreaming about my garden for the spring and the summer. Start dreaming about, oh, I'll have 3 of these, maybe 4 of those, 1 of these, 2 of those. I never have enough room for all of the things I want to plant anyway, but I dream. I thought today we would talk about the seed garden, the seed catalogs that come in. There are a lot of ideas in there for you to think about what you would like to plant come spring. You need to think about, do you have room? You have to think about, does it get enough sun? Or is there too much sun in that spot? Some of these you really have to put in pots, or should, for your own sanity. But anyway, let's begin. We have some pictures of basils for you to look at and make some choices. I love basil. I plant basil almost every year. I like sweeter basil. Some of the leaves now are getting a very licorice taste to them, not to my palate. But there is also a citrus basil, and I do my basil and my citrus basil and whiz them in my food processor and add olive oil, a little bit of salt, and then I stop there. And I take them and I put them in ice cube trays, freeze them, and then, when they're frozen, I put them in baggies, and then I have them to make pesto, follow through and add Parmesan cheese and pine nuts. Yum. I also add them to soup. I make a lot of vegetable soups, and the basil tastes pretty good in it. And if you have a rind of Parmesan left, don't throw it away, it's gold. Put it in with your soup. Then when you're ready to serve, spoon it out. What was I going to say? I use it for pasta. I will make a pasta maybe with some roasted vegetables and just have the pasta, the roasted vegetables, and then melt this pesto, or beginnings of pesto, which is the basil and oil, over my pasta and veggies. It's delicious. It's a really good thing to do. I'd like to show you some of the varieties of the basil that's available. Thank you very much. Now you'll see in the first picture, we've got just fragrant basil. I like that one. The second one, cardinal basil, look at that beautiful red bloom on it. I'm going to look for that this year, definitely. I like the looks of it. Cinnamon basil, I don't know anything about that, but it sounds interesting, and I might look for that too. I have grown the Crimson King. It's very good. The large, the lettuce, the lime basil, there's a lime, and I guess it doesn't show. The lime basil may be the citrus basil that I'm used to getting. I'm not sure. But as you can see, there are several beautiful basils that you could get. I want to tell you too in the beginning that you can get seeds out of the seed catalog. This one happens to be Park Seed that I'm showing right now. I've gotten seeds from them and have been happy with them. But you can buy seeds at Kmart. You can buy seeds at Costco. You can buy seeds at Kroger. Just about anywhere you can buy your seeds. One of the things that for little plants, if I don't want to go through the bother of growing from the seeds, is I go out to Harvest Time or Wojo's out in Ortonville, and there's also Wojo's on Lapeer Road. They have the plants. And that's what I usually use, are the small plants. I was trying to think here. Harvest Time, I think, is the only place I've been able to find the citrus basil. I don't know if Wojo's has it or if they're going to carry it. So if you're interested, I'll check into it and let you know if we're going to do that. With your basil, this is something you want to think ahead how many plants you need, because you're going to use a lot of it. I cut it and use it all summer, making pesto, making pasta, whatever, fresh basil. I also take that basil and hang it upside down, actually from the chandelier in my dining room, smells good, and have them drying. And then when they're nice and dry, then I will put them in a jar. I will put them in an old pill bottle, anything that I can put them in to keep them dry so no moisture gets into them. Again, it's something, crush them up and use them, they're wonderful. There is one more basil I have to tell you about. It's chocolate basil. Oxymoron, baby. It's delicious. I take that and I crush it up and I add it to my cakes, and it gives that hint of flavor in that cake that you're not sure quite what it is, but it tastes pretty good. So you might think about getting some of that chocolate basil, and again here, the only place I've been able to find that was at Harvest Time. I will check out Wojo's. I have to look and see if there's seeds. In this catalog, I did not see the seeds for it. So then we go on to something really different, because you never know. If somebody has cats, it is a clever idea to grow Nepeta. That's not catnip, it's another plant, Nepeta, or catgrass. It's good for the cats. You can put it out by the door or something where the cats can easily get to it. It prevents hairballs. You know how bad hairballs are. Anyway, and it adds fiber to their diet. So it's not a bad thing. And of course, then there's catnip that you might stick in your garden. It deters pests. Something about it makes the pests not want to come to it, and it attracts bees. I will do most anything to attract bees to my garden. We have a non-aggression pact. I leave them alone, and they have left me alone for a number of years. I never, when I'm working in my garden, I never reach over the bees. I always reach under the bees. What I want to do doesn't seem to bother them, and they don't sting me, so that seems to work quite well for us. There's another that I really like, and it's called Borage. I'm not sure if it's on one of these pages. Oh yeah, it's up in the corner, page 13. Okay, can you see the borage now? It's that purpley flower plant. This plant was used in, I don't want to say King Arthur time, Knights of the Round Table time, that kind of stuff. They would put those flowers on themselves of borage for courage. What a neat old-fashioned idea, but be that as it may. It attracts pollinators. It does freely reseed itself, so you might need to pull some out the next year, but it's a beautiful plant, just beautiful plant. It attracts pollinators. It repels pests. You can use the flowers on a salad. Now, I think that would be kind of neat. Serve a salad and have those pretty flowers laying on the salad. Of course, you've cleaned them. You've looked underneath that there's no little buggies hiding underneath. And put them on the salad. We don't need extra protein. Well, I suppose we do, but we don't want it that way. It will reseed a lot. I have to say that I do pull borage out just about every year. I always save some because I love it. but it does get a little aggressive. So you might want to put it a place, that it's not going to take over your garden. We've got chives. Chives is a perennial. You only have to buy that once. You put that in and you can be clipping. It's a slight onion taste. You clip them, add them to your salads, add them to your potato salads, add them to just about anything that you're cooking. It's always good. Add it to fish. The flowers, let's see, they're on the bottom there, the chives. Those flowers are edible. Here again, you can add the flowers to whatever dish it is you're serving that it seems apropos to have the flowers. Another thing I want to quickly do is, has anybody made compound butter? Compound butter sounds real tricky, and it's so easy and it's so good. Stick butter, let it soften. Take your herbs, whether it's basil or borage or chives or dill, we'll talk about dill a little later, lemon balm, marjoram, any of these spices that you like, and dry them, okay? Add them to your butter and just stir it together. Keep stirring it till it's all homogenized. Put it back in the paper and use your hands to force it to come back to a round. Wrap it all up and put it in the refrigerator. In the time it takes for it to solidify again, then when you're serving dinner, a slice of the herbed butter on potatoes, on meat. I wouldn't put it on a salad. Try it on toast. It's really a neat thing to do and might impress a few of your friends with your compound butter. I think this is what we're going to do for this segment. I'm awfully happy to be back again. I hope you are too. And, oh, one more thing I want to add. I didn't bring my garbage. I brought my eggshells. Anybody know why I brought my eggshells? Because, you know those slugs, those nasty little things that grow in our garden? They won't crawl over these eggshells because the edges are so sharp. This is good for your garden. It adds calcium. It adds minerals to your garden. I start saving eggshells from the fall. It takes me a while, but I start saving them. All I do is, after I've taken my egg out of the shell, then I rinse it under water to get rid of the membrane, and then I set it on the counter and just let it dry. Then I keep adding them to my bag of eggshells, and come spring, I'll squish them down and then sow them all over my garden bed. Never have enough for all of my garden beds, but it's a very good trick you can use in your garden. Get rid of those slugs. You don't have to have the beer and all the rest of that stuff. This works really well. Give it a try. We'll see you again soon.